What's up, Vikings fans? This is Matthew Deary, recouping after a tough loss to the San Diego Chargers. Instead of really going in depth on everything that happened, I'm pretty much just going to focus this part on Donovan McNabb and the offense. Now, as many of you know, we all saw the stat line. Donovan McNabb, 7 for 15, 39 passing yards. 39, that was his actual stats from the game. So, I mean, considering that it was a very piss poor effort on his part. He looked inaccurate. He looked a little sluggish. He didn't look in sync with the offense, missing a couple of throws to Shanko. But really, I think I should go to bat here for Donovan and say that I didn't think that he did a good job with when he had chances. But I don't think we can discredit Donovan and say that this is his fault. The 39 yards was not his fault. Even after the football game, Percy Harvin and new wide receiver Michael Jenkins, who caught the touchdown pass yesterday, they both said the Vikings got predictable on offense, which, as many of you know, first down run to AP, second down run to AP, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 6, then we're passing. We never converted. We never kept the Chargers off the field. So we were always going 3 and out in the second half. As you guys know, the second half was absolutely disastrous. 21 second half yards for the whole entire offense. So not necessarily what we're looking for when we go up halftime 17-7. But going back to Donovan McNabb, let's just talk a little bit about what I saw in the game. And to be honest, we have a new offensive coordinator. Musgrave is our new offensive coordinator. He worked with Atlanta in previous years. I honestly think that his offense looks eerily similar to last year's offense when we had Tavares Jackson at the helm. Not even last year's offense. Let's just say when we had Tavares Jackson at the helm. It's very check down oriented, not stretching the field. Of course, we don't have that dynamite wide receiver like Sidney Rice, but we can still chuck it up there, just give it a shot, make the Chargers aware of the fact that we can go down the field. You know, the putting the ball. I mean, at the beginning of the year, Frazier said, you know, this is going to be AP's offense. We're going to run the football a lot. I get it. AP's the best back in the NFL. He's the best back on the planet. But you can't become predictable. This is a pass-heavy league. Anybody who knows the NFL knows that. It's a pass-heavy league. And if you can't pass the football, you're not going to have success on offense. They can stack 8 in the box, and even the best backs in the league are going to get shut down. I mean, we have another dynamic playmaker in Percy Harvin, who I thought was extremely underutilized yesterday. First half, he got some chances to run the football. We threw him a couple screen passes, looked okay. But like I said, second half comes around, and it's almost like the Vikings were scared to try anything anymore. I mean, it wasn't a good offensive first half anyway. I mean, Percy returns that opening kickoff. Great. That's 7 points. But other than that, you know, the Vikings offense only scored 10 points. So, I mean, the first half wasn't great for the offense either. But it was just such tentative play calling. So I just don't think that, even though Donovan didn't perform well when he was given opportunities to throw the football, I think that we really have to sit back as Vikings fans and not, you know, hang Donovan up by his ankles, because it's not his fault completely. The offensive play calling was atrocious yesterday. You can't be predictable. When your own players are saying you're predictable, that's saying something. It's so predictable. And anybody who's been a Vikings fan who in the past 10 years, I mean, you could feel it coming. In the second half, you could just feel it coming. Donovan made a couple of plays with his feet when the play broke down, which shows he still has value as a quarterback. I don't necessarily know if he has value as a quarterback if you don't let him think instinctively. If we're just calling strict play calls, kind of like a Brad Childress offense, which seemed what we were doing yesterday, then we have efforts like this, where everybody's on the field almost scared to make mistakes as opposed to going out of their way to make a play. And that's Brad Childress's mentality. Now, I don't necessarily fault Leslie Frazier. I don't know how, after the third quarter or after even a quarter and a half in the second half, you can't wake up and say, "What the hell is going on out here?" Quote famous Vince Lombardi. I just don't know how you can watch that offense for any sort of amount of time in the second half and not make any adjustments at all. I mean, we got Donovan McNabb because we didn't want to do this dink and dunk offense. We didn't want Tavares Jackson to be our quarterback. We didn't want Joe Webb to be our quarterback. We didn't want to usher Christian Ponder in yet. We brought in Donovan McNabb because we wanted to throw the football, to show the ineptitude of the Vikings play calling yesterday. As you guys remember, the Chargers were really putting the defense on their heels, and they were coming down and they were coming down. They were really moving the football. Okay, then Jared Allen makes that interception. First down, second down, the Vikings do this blazer package, the stupidest shit I've ever heard of. Of course, the announcers are saying, oh, you got three of the most dangerous weapons in the backfield. You got Percy, you got Joe Webb, and you got Adrian Peterson. Three dynamic weapons. But what happens when Joe Webb gets the football? They know he's not going to throw it. I mean, he could hand it off either way to either of these two playmakers on the side, but that's still a running play. And so what does Joe Webb do? He just runs the football, and we get nothing out of it. So after we make this big key interception, something that changes, that stops the Chargers drive that looked bound for points, and we literally go 3 and out and give the ball right back to him and say, here you go. Get started again. Just start from farther back. A blazer package. I mean, I can understand trying the blazer package first quarter, second quarter, but when you're late in the game and the offense has been sputtering, you don't give the ball to Joe Webb and say, let's try out this new blazer package. Not the time. We needed to move the football there. And it didn't happen because we had to try something new. Of course, when you don't have success, you should try new things. But honestly, I don't think that was the time to try something as new as that, as fresh as that. I mean, it's a nice idea. Maybe if Joe Webb could throw the football and there was a dual threat there. But even with Donovan McNabb and the lack of success the offense had, you have to be able to throw the football. And you have to have confidence in the man that you brought in here to do that. I think a lot of people will be talking about the defense and faulting the defense, but you have to also consider it's just like last year where the defense plays well enough to win the game, but the offense gives them no chance because 3 and outs destroy, they kill your defense. Because what it does is it forces them to go onto the field immediately. They can make a big play, like an interception with Jared Allen. They can make a big play and do their part and stop them, stop the Chargers, and then boom, 2 minutes later, maybe even less than that, maybe 2 minutes real time, maybe 45 seconds game time, they're back on the field. It's hot in San Diego. They're in a hostile environment. And they have to play on their heels because they're getting tired. And the Chargers offense, I mean, they can smell blood. And they can smell tiredness. And they know the offense of the Vikings can't do anything. So it's just embarrassing for a Vikings fan to sit back and say, we can't even do anything with the football on offense to at least give our defense a 5-minute breather. We can't even sustain an 8-play drive. We can't even go 40 yards. Absolutely embarrassing. Now, I'm not going to say the Vikings season is over by any means, but from what I saw yesterday, it is extremely alarming. I'm not gonna hit the panic button yet, but from what I saw yesterday, it is alarming. And play better as the season progresses. Last year, they were the #1 overall ranked defense. They might play better as the season progresses, but from game one standpoint, we weren't facing a great defense on the field that day. We shot ourselves in the foot more than they took advantage of us. And I honestly, if they don't change the way that they're going to call this football game and unhandcuff Donovan McNabb and let him throw the football a little bit, read the field, then this is going to be a very, very long season.